Hey, Lara, do you reckon George would mind if I brought this adorable, adoptable bunny home?
Oh, well, if it's anything like dust, the more the merrier.
Yeah, George does like his personal space.
Yeah. Actually, we've got a multiple dog household story on today.
Oh, I better pay close attention.
Yeah, and for you guys at home, we've got all the usual tips for creating a healthy, happy pooch.
And you better pay close attention too. Oh, wascally rabbit.
Dogs can go deaf for a variety of reasons. It could be chronic ear infection or injury, drug toxicity, sometimes like us, old age. And unfortunately though, many deaf dogs are put down as puppies because people think something's wrong with them, they're going to have behaviour problems, or they're too hard to train. This simply isn't true. In fact, they're really good to train. And just to show us how amazing they are is Judy and Chance. Hey, Chance. Chance can't hear me. Sorry, Judy, how did you come about finding Chance?
I was given a deaf dog by my vet many years ago, and he was just so good. He was very easy to train. He was just great.
Yeah.
So when he eventually got cancer and had to be put down, I got offered another deaf dog.
Aww.
So I took Chance.
Oh, beautiful. And so, you know, it's sign language really, isn't it, that we use?
You've got to remember that your hands are now your only form of contact with your dog.
Right.
So you can't wave your hands around. You've got to, you know, be definite with your...
Right, that might be hard for me.
Yeah.
And one of the key things, I guess, is getting their attention.
Yes. So I've always got a treat under the nose.
Yes.
Up to my face, and you'll see that he'll always watch what I'm doing.
Yeah, and the thing is with the dog, when you are in training, you really want them to be paying attention to you anyway. So the key is getting their attention in. Did you used to, when Chance was offering behaviour, did you start marking that with a hand signal?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of people say this is the correct hand signal, but I always say it's not the correct hand signal. Whatever works for you, that's the one you use.
Okay, yes,
So,
as long as it's consistent every single time.
Yes, and as long as the family all understand that that's the signal that you use.
Yes, do you want to show us some?
Well, Chance, can you dig a hole?
Ah.
Can you dig a hole for me?
I'm not sure if you want to encourage that to many people.
Do you want to sit? Drop. Over. Chance, over. Over.
And how long, like when you were in teaching phase, how long did it take for Chance to sort of understand?
Very fast, very easy to train.
And is that because they don't get distracted as much?
Yes, because there's any noises around them, they don't get distracted by that.
Have you got any other tips for training?
Just keep training short, 10 minutes at a time, because your dog gets very bored if you train for too long.
Yes.
Always train in different areas. So if you train in a park one day, you train somewhere else another day.
Okay.
If you take your dog for a walk, stop, give him 10 minutes of training.
Yeah, and what about getting the attention? If you're not close enough to get a treat, they're really good at picking up, obviously, our vibrations as well.
Yeah, well, Chance usually keeps an eye on me. Wherever I go, he always watches where I am. So I'm not going to go too far from him because he's always going to watch me.
And safety?
In a park, in a closed-in park, he's off-lead.
Yes.
But otherwise, I never have him off-lead in streets or roads or main roads or anything.
And
for his safety.
Yeah, exactly. And another important thing as well, some people think deaf dogs are more aggressive, but it's like any dog, you know, there is that saying, let sleeping dogs lie for a reason. You don't just go and wake up a dog that's sleeping. But in the case of a deaf dog, it's all the time. We need to be mindful of that. So what's some of the best tips for that?
When he's asleep, I put a treat in front of him and then I just gently give him a little pat and wake him up.
Okay.
And then he always wakes up and there's a treat in front of him, so it's always a happy thing.
I bet. And the thing is with that then is it's a good association. So when he feels a touch, then he always just thinks it's a good thing, doesn't he?
It's a good thing.
And especially with puppies as well, a great idea to do that is when the puppy's sleeping, touch, treat straight away. So they're used to it from day dot really, aren't they, from getting taught. And kids?
Kids, I just would be very careful with children, with any dog. Just teach your kids to respect the dog and, you know, to be gentle with them.
Yeah, and get their attention first. Oh, well done. Well, thank you, Judy.
That's all right.
Thank you, Chancey. Even though he can't hear me, I'm sure he knows.
He understands.
To find out how HIF pet insurance can cover your dog for illness or injury, visit the HIF website.
I'm hanging out with my ex-TV husband, the devilishly handsome and exceptionally charming Tim Campbell.
Hey man, how are you? Hubby, good to see you.
Who have we got here?
This is Oscar. Sit down, mate. This is Oscar. I've had him since about 10 weeks old. Got him from the RSPCA. He's 9.5 years now.
Wow.
But I'm actually an RSPCA ambassador, so I always kind of get rescue dogs. And this one, he had a bit of an unfortunate start to life. Was found on the side of the road and had his tail chopped off, so I didn't dock it. It's okay. But he's got a bit of a nugget now, which is good.
Sorry, the tail's been growing.
It has. We kind of had nothing. Come here. We've got to show that. Look at that. But now he's got a bit of a nugget there.
Got yourself a tail, mate. Something to wag.
He's a real dog now. But it was actually a funny story. We went shopping. Anthony kind of loves animals, maybe not as much as me, but when we were setting up a house, he wanted, of course, these Versace pieces, I wanted a backyard. So we went shopping for lamps, and he said, "Will you go and check the dogs out?" I said, "You can't window shop when you go and buy dogs." He said, "No, it'll be fine, we'll have a look." So we went to the RSPCA and went shopping for lamps, came home with the dog, of course. We had to rush around and get all dog products straight away, but he's great. He's been a huge addition to our family.
Did you have to do much training?
Yeah, look, I think we all should train our dogs, especially when they're young, just so they know who's in control of the household. And I grew up next to a dog trainer, so I know, all the basics as far as that kind of thing, but just he knows the rules of the house, and especially being a lab Kelpie, he's actually quite a good indoor dog, so.
Smart.
Yeah.
And I guess the main thing with rescues is they just need some love and affection and some safety.
And he gets way too much from us and our families, I'm telling you now.
Well, there you go. It goes to show you can still teach an old dog new tricks.
Is that me or Oscar? Hang on.
Every year, around 200,000 healthy pets remain unclaimed in Australia's pounds and shelters. This is a stat that Petstock is determined to change. With its National Pet Adoption Day. It's 10 a.m. right now. There have been people here since 6:30. So let's get in there and check out the action. Each year, this initiative, led by Petstock's charity foundation, Petstock Assist, and their major charity partner, Pet Rescue, aims to raise awareness of pet adoption and encourage potential owners to consider adopting their next animal instead of purchasing. In fact, if just 1 in 5 pet seekers chose to adopt a pet instead of shop, we could end pet homelessness in Australia. So what are you going to do when you get home?
I'm going to take her for a big walk, and then I'm going to feed her, give her some dog food and some treats, and train her and make her sit and everything.
Good girl. Get her to know your home.
Yeah.
Get her familiar with everything, all her surroundings. Well, I think she's a very lucky girl to have an owner like you. So, we've got a new friend to take home?
We do indeed.
Which one is it?
Holly.
Holly here. G'day, Holly. So, you've come in and adopted today.
Yep.
What made you want to come into Petstock and grab a new friend?
Adopting is a better thing than trying to go to a breeder and stuff like that. I feel like I'd give a dog a second chance. This is the second time we've gone through the same company to get a pet haven to adopt a dog. So we thought, why not give it another shot? Because we've got one who's a good dog, and hopefully we get 2 who's a good dog. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I understand you had to come in early.
I did, mate.
Yeah, because they're in high demand at the moment.
Competition is fierce.
Last year, more than 500 pets found their forever homes, a figure that everyone involved hopes to increase further year on year. It's amazing how many people are coming down to adopt at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
And have you been looking for a while?
Probably about a month. So we started looking at the pet rescue and wanted something that, give it a second chance of life, and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's something that suits the families.
You've done a wonderful thing. All right, Sebastian. Well, you and Dad, you head home and have a wonderful time with your new friend. It's just great to know that there's so many people out there wanting to adopt pets. If you want to learn more about adopting a furry friend, then head to petrescue.com.au. Nestled in the Great Lakes district of New South Wales, Reflections Holiday Park's Jimmy's Beach in Hawk's Nest is a magical part of the world. With large shady sites in a natural bushland setting, you'll be glad you pulled up your RV or caravan. There are also campsites and a range of cabins to choose from. Whether you want to just relax by the water or after something a bit more adventurous, you'll be well catered for at Reflections Holiday Park's Jimmy's Beach. On the New South Wales coast, we have Hanks at Mollymook. Being just 2.5 hours from Canberra and 3 hours from Sydney, it's ideal for a weekend away or even an extended holiday with the family. With 2 living areas, accommodation for 8 and 2 bathrooms, it's the perfect place for families or friends to come together and enjoy the coastal lifestyle that the region has to offer. The property is fully fenced and just a short walk to dog-friendly Mollymook Beach. For more pet-friendly accommodation ideas, visit takeyourpet.com.au.
Even with a growing number of pet-friendly places to go and stay, taking our pooch away with us on holiday isn't always practical. So what do we do if we want them to be safe, yet have fun, keeping active and playing with friends whilst we're off doing the same thing, or even if we're at work all day and no one's at home. What do you think, Das? Do you want to know? Yeah, I thought so. My Lead is a doggy daycare based in the Melbourne Bayside suburb of Hyatt. Whether you need your dog cared for every now and then or during the working week, a day spent here will provide your pooch with all the mental and physical stimulation that dogs need to keep healthy and happy. A lot of dog behaviour problems stem through a lack of human interaction or interaction with other dogs and appropriate levels of exercise. Problems like digging, chewing, barking and separation anxiety can all be helped by sending them to doggy daycare rather than leaving them at home alone. A stay at My Lead will also enhance a dog's social skills and build confidence as they learn to mix with different breeds, temperaments, shapes and sizes. Hey Das, how's this? You can even have nap time in the afternoon so you don't overdo it. There's so much going on, you'll be sure to pick up a very content and well-exercised pooch at the end of the day. If it's holiday care you're after, My Lead offers a home-style environment where staff stay on site. There's no cages and it's limited to a maximum of 8 dogs, so they receive the best care possible. My Lead caters for all your dog's needs, their meals, medication and any other special requirements, so you can go away on your holiday worry-free. To find out more, visit mymylead.com.au. It's pretty good, isn't it, Das? Yeah.
Don't forget, you can check out all the Pooches at Play antics, competitions and more on our social media pages.
We're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
George and Darcy would love you to check out their Instagram pages as well.
Yeah, they've got a way to go before they become Insta Pooches. Sorry, guys.
They're still very cute.
They are. Many dog owners are frustrated by some very common dog behaviour problems. Things such as barking, scratching at the door, trying to get toys, destructive digging or chewing. Now, often this is put down to anxiety by owners without them actually realising that they are contributing to the problem by not giving their dogs enough environmental enrichment. Anxiety actually shares a lot of symptoms with boredom, and it often comes down to the fact that their dog is not getting enough mental and physical stimulation that they need in their lives, especially in their teenage years, where those hormones start to kick in and they need much higher levels of activity. So what is environmental enrichment? Well, it's about making sure that your dog has daily exercise. For most dogs, this means at least 30 minutes, but it does depend on their breed, their age and their temperament, so some dogs need even more. Dogs also need human companionship. They're pack animals. They weren't designed to be left alone all day or out in the backyard with no family interaction. Leaving them with another dog doesn't always work either. You could get a dog walker if you don't have the time or if you are out at work all day. When it comes to toys, they need to be interactive ones that can mentally and physically stimulate them. They also need to be shown how to use them, though Bo here is doing a pretty good job of working out the Kong wobbler himself. There's no point leaving them with a heap of plush toys or a tug rope and ball when no one's at home. They need someone at the end to play with those. So they need to be things like this Aussie dog tucker ball, because you can actually put their kibble inside of it, even their daily meal, so they can then spend hours playing with it, rolling it around and foraging it out like they would in the wild. As Bo's figured out, we've got some mints in this Kong wobbler here, and this is great. If you were to freeze this and leave it with your dog while you went out, they would spend hours working away at that, and again that would mimic what they would do in the wild. So they need to be interactive so they can have a lot of fun and keep themselves occupied. If your dog loves to dig, and some dogs do, and they also might be keeping themselves cool in the sun, then consider getting them a sandpit so you can divert the digging to that spot there. You can put treats in it and toys so they can spend hours busily burying away there and leaving the rest of your garden alone. Leaving them with appropriate size raw meaty bones also gives them something to do. And remember, dogs are social animals, so take them out with you when you're heading out, down to the shops, visiting friends. They'll love you for it. It's also important to spend time with them before and after work, either playing out in the backyard or bringing them inside so they can spend time with you. And also, short daily bouts of obedience training will not only help and keep them occupied, but also develops really strong leadership and a great human-dog bond. So before you tear your hair out in frustration or rush down to your vets asking for medication for your dog, try implementing as many of these, if not all of them, as you possibly can. If you're still having problems, then you do need to get a qualified trainer or a vet behaviourist to come on in and assess what's really going on and make up appropriate plans for their treatment. To find a local trainer near you, visit the NDTF website. We hear from Chris about the benefits of feeding our dog a raw food diet, so I thought we might hear from someone who's actually changed across to this. Now, Maz, welcome.
Thank you.
And we have the beautiful Rhodesian Ridgeback Bodie here. How old's Bodie?
Bodie will be 3 in January.
Oh, beautiful. And at what age did you start feeding him a raw food diet?
Between 12 and 18 months.
He looks magnificent. What do you feed him and how much?
We feed him 2 patties in the morning and 2 patties in the evening, and we rotate through the different flavours.
What's his favourite? Does he have one?
Kangaroo's probably his favourite.
Oh, that's nice. Is that your favourite? Is it, beautiful boy? Now, what were some of the changes that you saw in Bodie when you first started transitioning him across?
The first change we noticed was his coat became really shiny. And then as time went on, we just noticed that his intake of the food was a lot quicker than previously, and he really seemed to enjoy it, and it seemed to sustain him really, really well.
Okay, and so longer term, how do you reckon that the raw food has really affected him?
He overall just seemed to be a much happier dog. I know that sounds a bit crazy,
Not at all.
He definitely just calm and happy, just really happy.
Well, that's the thing, because food actually has a massive impact on our dog's behaviour, which a lot of people don't realise. So raw food diets can actually change that quite significantly. Now, it has like 4 patties a day. What's that in terms of cost compared to other stuff that you might have been feeding him before?
Look, it may be probably a little bit more expensive than what we were feeding him before, but I think in the long term, the costs outweigh significantly when you're looking at vet bills and things. His overall health speaks for itself for us, so we're very happy.
Of course, prevention is much better than cure and much cheaper as well in the long run, and especially when you've got a magnificent boy like this. I want to take him home. Thank you, Maz, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
If you would like your dog to look as magnificent as Bodie here, then check out the Big Dog Pet Foods website. I'm going to take this one home, I think. Oh, maybe not. Never mind.
Dogs just love treats and we just love giving them to them. However, not all treats are created equal. Sometimes it's hard to know what we should be avoiding and what's best for our puppies. Luckily, I've got Dr. Sue Kelly here to help us choose right. So, what should we be looking out for and what should we be avoiding?
Well, firstly, I make sure I buy a treat that's designed especially for dogs. Human foods can be poisonous, things like sultanas and chocolate, and others are really rich in calories and higher in fat, so it's just good to avoid them in the first place. I want to make sure treats are safe and are made of good quality ingredients. So I buy a treat that has as much information as possible on the packaging. The ingredient panel is really important, and I look for a product that has meat as the first ingredient. I also look for things that are lower in fat, as they tend to have less calories.
So, what are the problems of feeding our dogs too many treats?
Overweight and obese dogs is the biggest preventable health problem in dogs, exactly the same as people in Australia. People don't think of treats as food, but they add actually a lot of extra calories and not necessarily a lot of extra nutritional benefit. If you want to feed treats every day, try and limit the amount you feed to about 10% of the energy. Keeping your dog lean by reducing the calories and also not unbalancing your diet. It's a really good idea to feed a good quality commercial pet food and limit the amount of treats, and that way you can ensure that your dog gets all the vitamins and minerals that they need.
So what are the ideal processes or ingredients?
I prefer meat as the first ingredient, and I want to know that rigorous quality processes are in place. So if you look at this VitaPet chicken tender as an example, it's made in a human grade factory where the people use masks, hairnets and gloves. We use natural antioxidants such as rosemary and vitamin E to ensure product freshness. And pure chicken breast fillets are actually put on oven trays and baked in an oven for about 16 hours and then hand cut into strips like this. The best thing is they're 97% chicken breast and they only have a 1% fat level.
What about puppies? They seem to get lots of treats.
Yeah, new pet owners tend to feed lots of treats, especially when they start training their puppies, but it's more important not to overload puppies with treats because what it can do is unbalance the diet that's needed to keep their bones and joints healthy. Puppies are also a lot more prone to upset tummies, and there's a lot of treats designed for adult dogs that their baby teeth just won't be able to handle. So it's really important when you're choosing a treat for your puppy to choose a packaging that says it's specifically designed for puppies.
Well, thanks, Sue. I'm sure most of us hadn't put that much thought into our treat choices. Whereabouts can we find the VitaPet treats?
They're available at supermarkets and leading pet stores such as Petstock.
Well, the way you described they're put together, they sound delicious.
They do.
I think I might want to try some. Is it time to cut for lunch? Would you like to win a Pawsome prize pack valued at $3,000 for you and your furry friend? Thanks to our wonderful partners, one lucky viewer is going to win a $500 Petstock gift voucher, a year's supply of Glow dog food, $500 worth of Big Dog pet products, a year's supply of VitaPet treats, $200 worth of Goomy pet products, and for you, an amazing $500 massage and wellbeing voucher from HIF. All you have to do is tell us the name of a dog that has appeared in one of our Pooches at Play segments and why your pooch deserves to win. It's that easy. We also have 10 $50 Petstock gift vouchers with a Take Your Pet travel pack to give away for runners-up. To enter, visit the Pooches at Play website. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we've enjoyed being part of National Pet Adoption Day. We found some forever families for our furry friends and we can't wait to do it again.
Who would have thought that playing with animals all day could be so tiring?
Well, I know.
Hey, actually, after seeing Pippa and Missy's story, how are you feeling about getting George a new housemate?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I don't think I'm ready myself.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. For everyone at home, we hope that you've learned something like Gyton has here today. And don't forget to tune in for more Pooches at Play or visit our website.
See you then.